or if it ever feels isolating at times? Like, what's your average day like?
It's kind of complicated, like you said, because like you never know what's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. So it's just a matter of fact, you always got to stay ready and be prepared for whatever happens. Because like you said, like we had a game like last Saturday when I played no more till this Saturday. So like you gotta just be prepared because coach says a lot of things. A pandemic, a lot of things can happen without the weeks or days going by. Teams testing positive, stuff like that. So you just gotta be always ready for whatever happens.
Are there ever any moments when it reaches kind of that peak of frustration where, are there ever times where as much as you love basketball where you're just kind of like, man, like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's very frustrating because like you wanna play so bad, and then when you're preparing for a team, and then it just somehow it just end up not working out, and you have to cancel a game, and it's a lot of frustration. But at the same time, you just gotta use it as more time to work and get better as a group.
Au'Diese, what kind of extraordinary things are you doing to try to keep yourself safe and free from the virus? Are you, as far as staying away from different people and staying off campus, maybe?
Like I said, I really just most 9 out of 10 I just be at the gym. If I'm at the gym, I'm at home, just staying away watching basketball. Really, trying to stay negative as much.
Au'Diese, coach was telling us that his biggest concern right now is not getting down 18 again to Syracuse. How do you avoid getting down 18 again?
Coming out stronger, not as slow as we always. Start games. Usually we start off slow. And Syracuse is one of those type teams you can't come out sluggish or slow because they get out in a Mars league like that. And that's not saying that, like last game was hard to come back from, but you never want to be down that much and try to fight that hard to come back.
Au'Diese, that was your first win over Syracuse since you've been here. Do you feel like you guys learned anything from that experience, and does that give you guys confidence heading into Saturday?
It gave us a lot of confidence because like we always said, like you could beat anybody in this conference as long as you just put your mind to it and do what you got to do on the court.
Au'Diese, what are the challenges of preparing to face a team, twice in a row, even though it'll be 10 days between them? How do you kind of keep your mindset from getting maybe a little complacent after the way you guys battled back in that second half?
You always got to stay hungry, hungry for more. You never get satisfied with and content with the win because they're going to come back as strong as ever. Because last year we fought hard and we could have won the game, but we didn't. And then we came back here. We got to replace and relax, and they run us off our home court. So you gotta stay locked in as 9 out of 10 of the time. So
with their zone, Au'Diese, they're kind of unlike a lot of teams. I feel like Syracuse is a bit of a unique challenge. They're not like really any other team in the ACC. Given that unique quality to them, is it kind of easier to play them back to back, playing them twice in 10 days, just because you're still kind of accustomed to having faced them and have that experience?
I wouldn't say that, but I would say more so is just more of a preparation for it. The last game we didn't expect to play them as that early and during the season. Like I said, because of the pandemic. So now it's just more of a time frame we have on our hands. Now we have more just to study them more as well and get a feel for that zone as more than we did at first.
At this point, I'm sure Xavier is aware of his foul trouble, and I was wondering if you see him fouling less in practice as he tries to, maybe change his game a little bit.
Yes, sir. He been playing solid defense lately. In practice, he's sliding his feet, doing personnel, just trying to maintain so he can stay on the court as much as possible. So he's doing a very good job of that.
Au'Diese, speaking about your relationship with Xavier, just you two as leaders and guys that have been experienced on this team, what's it like being leaders and trying to set the example and, show the young freshmen this is their first experience in college basketball, and they got this crazy pandemic. You know what it's been like when it wouldn't be during that. How do you guys keep them together and be the leaders that kind of keep the team going forward?
We do a good job, very good job at that, because Xavier became me, him, and Trey. I mean, not even Trey, not here right now, but we all came in together. So our bond is just different, like any others. And plus, Xavier roommates, so it's even better as a bond. So we just try to keep the team as level-headed as possible. We try to keep them like locked in as much as possible as well. Because we've been there and done that, so we just know what it feels like. And then there's rough times right now because there's a pandemic, so that's even more a good experience and more leadership vocally.
Au'Diese, how do you feel about being the glue guy, the guy who rebounds, scores, assists, everything? How do you feel about that role of being the glue guy on this team?
I feel good about it. It's just different flaws to bring to the table. Just to bring everybody together, do what you got to do. Whatever I need to do to bring it to the table, I'm down for that. And it's just a big part of it, being a leader and playing that leader role in it. So it's great.
Au'Diese, when you played Syracuse last year, Quincy Guerre was far from the guy he's turned into this year. He was more the sixth man, wasn't really a scoring threat. I know he spent most of the last game in foul trouble, but just on film or what you saw, where has he kind of grown the most, and how does him becoming a more complete player, force you guys to adjust defensively?
He's been a good player. Always been a good player. He just added more of an attack person. Like he's just in an attack move now. This year, he's looking more for him scoring the ball more, and I see that. And he's making shots outside. He's like shooting 50, 53 or 40, something like that from three. And that's big because I don't think he even looked at the score on the outside last year. And that's what stood out the most for him this year. And because, he always been a monster on the glass and stuff like that. So,
Au'Diese, Syracuse is a team you play twice a year, like every year. It goes back to the old Big East days. I know it's different without crowds, but does Pitt and Syracuse, does that kind of feel like a rivalry? Do you kind of get up extra when you play Syracuse?
Yeah, it's like a chip on your shoulder. We play Syracuse because, like you said, this has been the biggest rivalry in the Big East days, and now since Pitt in the ACC and they in the ACC, it's more of a hype feeling. Like, even though we don't have fans there, but you still feel that type of rivalry, and when you step on the court.
Au'Diese, we talked with Coach Capel a little bit earlier about there being so few games over these past 3 weeks for y'all. And he had talked about trying to be a little bit more creative with practices to kind of ramp up the level of competition. What are some of those creative steps that he's taken that you guys do in practice? Like, are they drills? Or are they just other things?
It's a lot of competition, a lot of competing, a lot of one-on-one drills. Whoever you take tally down for, whoever's going to stand out the most, what team's going to stand out the most, and you're just competing for stops, especially on defense. Coach Capel big on defense. Whatever team can get 3 stops first to get on offense. It's a lot of things. All the practice has been just competitive. Since we have games, so he just wanted to translate everything as game situation, things like that.
Who's the best one-on-one player on the team?
Not me. I would say that always. Me. Because I'm just a competitor, so I'm just going to always say me.
Somebody else?
X. IT. Femi. Gerald. Justin. We all
right? A lot of talented guys.
Yeah.
Au'Diese, beginning of the season, everybody said rebounding was going to be an emphasis, and the stats, and especially the stats from the Syracuse game, show that's true. Do you think you guys can sustain that as you actually get back to playing and play ACC games as we ramp up?
Yes, ma'am. I see that a lot because that's what mostly we focus on in practice. Make sure you're boxing your guy out and getting a rebound. We do a lot of box out drills for like 10 minutes straight. Whoever groups get the most rebounds. So like that's what he preaches the most. Boxing out, find your man, box him out, get the rebound, and push it. So yes, man.
The recording has stopped.